Hey there, fifth graders. So today we're comparing decimal and fraction multiplication to see which one we like best. So check out our first problem, and we're going to rewrite it as a fraction multiplication expression. So we could think of this as 3 2/10 times 2 1/10. Now before we get to multiplying, we're going to estimate what our product will be, so that when we get to the answer, we know whether or not we were reasonable. Well, 3 2/10 is pretty close to 3, and 2 1/10 is definitely close to 2. 3 times 2 is 6, so our product will probably be close to 6. All right, let's solve. So 3 2/10, well, how many tenths are in my 3? Well, I know there's 10 tenths in 1, so that's 30 tenths right there, plus 2, so 32 tenths. So I have 32 tenths times 10, 20 tenths, 21 tenths. Well, so I know 10 times 10 down here, that's 1,000. That one's, excuse me, that's 100. But what about these guys? 32 times 21. I'm going to have to do that over here really quick. But I know it's 672 hundredths. Now it's asking us to write this as a decimal, which 672 hundredths is easy. So let me tell you a trick. When you have a number that's in hundredths or tenths or thousandths, you put the last digit, which in this case is this 2, in the hundredths place, or the thousandths place, whichever you're dealing with. So 672 hundredths, so I know that that 2, that last digit, is going in the hundredths place. So I've got 672. So if I want this guy to be in the hundredths place, then that means I put my decimal right there. So does this answer make sense? When you think about our estimate earlier, that'd be kind of near 6? Sure does. So let's look at this problem. 3 2/10 times 44 hundredths. So we're going to estimate. So let's point out that this 44 hundredths, that's a number less than 1. And you know what happens when you multiply by a number that's less than 1. You get an answer that's smaller than what you started with. So my answer is going to be smaller than 3 2/10. So I'm going to estimate 1.5. Let's find out. So we know from earlier that 3 2/10 is the same as 32 tenths. Do you see it? Do you see the 32 there if you take out the decimal? We're going to multiply it by 44 hundredths. So at the bottom, we know 10 times 100 is going to be 1,000, and 32 times 44, let's do that real quick. So we have a whopping 1,408 thousandths. So let's think about that. So I've got my 1,408. Well, I know that this 8 belongs in the thousandths place. So let me think. Thousandths, hundredths, tenths, decimal. 1 408 thousandths. Voila. All right, let's look at this bad boy. First, we're going to estimate the product. Since this is pretty close to 3 times 4, I'm going to estimate my product to be around 12. And solving with fraction multiplication, 32 tenths times 421 hundredths. Well, I've got the bottom. That's the easy part. And then the top's going to be, a whole lot of thousandths. So hold on, let's think about it as a decimal. So we're going to write out our number, 13472. And it's in thousandths. Thousandths. So I know that this last digit lives in the thousandths place. So let's see, thousandths, hundredths, tenths, decimal goes right there. 13 472 thousandths.